Hey everybody, it's Lexi from Lexology. Welcome to my first Get Ready With Me video. This is where I'm just going to be doing my makeup real quick. I'm going to be shooting the intro video for the channel, so I figured, hey, why not film the makeup so you can see some behind the scenes, if you will. Anyway, without further ado, let's start! Alright, let's get ready with me. So I'm going to put some primer on first, just to get an even surface. I washed my face and put lotion on before this, and I'm going to put some primer on. I put a little bit extra around my nose just because I can get some enlarged pores, and I use a patting lotion. Next, we're going to get a little bit of concealer, and we're going to put that on some problem areas, just some spot concealing. I do this before foundation, just to make sure that they get covered up. Use a dampened beauty blender to do this. I use a knockoff, which is a little bit more firm than the actual beauty blender. I like the teardrop shape though, when my beauty blender isn't really teardrop shaped. We're using two different foundations. We're going to mix them together. One is just a little bit too dark for me, and the other one's just a little bit too light for me. So instead of going and buying new foundation that matches my skin tone like a normal person, I am just mixing them together. I'm going to use a toothbrush, makeup brush, you know those kind of brushes. This is just a knockoff, it's not the really expensive one. And we're going to blend that out. I am going to go in with a beauty blender after because I like the finish of a beauty blender more, but I like that this doesn't steal as much product. Yeah, dampened beauty blender, get the, I feel like it does a good job of taking off too much, like if you have too much product on. We're going to use another concealer, and we're going on the high points of my face and doing the triangles underneath my eyes. And I'm going to blend that out. Yeah, get rid of redness, help, a little bit of contouring really, Then we're going to use another concealer, the one we used from before, running a little bit more. This is a shade lighter than my skin tone, so again, it's going to help brighten my face up, put that on the high points. Blend, blend. Then we're going to use my translucent powder to set my makeup. I don't bake, but I do put a little bit extra powder on the places that I had heavy concealer. And then we're going to put the rest on with just a fluffy brush. Make sure to get your neck. Now we are going to get into eyeshadow. So first we're going to prime our eyelids as soon as I adjust the camera. Yep, we're going to prime our eyelids. Just rub that all over your lids. I usually go like right up to my eyebrows because I don't know. Sometimes I don't have a plan for what my makeup is going to look like, so I just kind of be safe. We're going to do the eyebrows first though. I have an eyeshadow that really fits my eyebrow color, so I'm going to put that in with a smudging brush. I don't really sculpt my eyebrow shape very much. I just kind of fill it in because I like having more natural looking eyebrows. And because of the shape of my face, I feel like I can handle a thicker brow. We're going to then go in with a crease brush, and we're going to put in just a really light color just as a base. And then we're going to put a slightly darker color into our crease, just like a light brown. We're going to smudge that in. Right now what we're doing is building color because we're going to use a really dark color, and we need to have some color in there to help diffuse it and transition it better. Now we're adding a little darker brown. Be really subtle with this. You don't need that much because it's very easy to end up building way too much and then you look kind of weird. Anyway, now we're using a small eyeshadow brush and we're packing on the black just on the lid. You have to be really careful with this, be very conservative. Just put that on the lid. Try not to put too much on the inner corner of your eyes. I accidentally did that on one corner. I fixed it with a lot more blending, but just save yourself the trouble and try to be careful about that. Now we're taking a little bit bigger of a brush just to help blend that out. Again, be really careful. Do not add any more product at first. If you feel like you're not getting a good blend, just add a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more black. Don't add too much. Now we're going to use this cool Urban Decay like multi-chrome color. It's like transitions between green and brown, and that's why we put that black base down, because I really like the green, so we're going to pack on that eyeshadow and it's going to show up really green and really metallic. It also helps because the brown, like burnt sienna shade that the eyeshadow turns into helps with transitioning the color in the crease. So it's really good for doing a dramatic smoky look, but not, you know, looking patchy. Now we're going to add a little bit of light just to help diffuse that. You know, blending is really important here. Then we're going to use a smudge brush and put some black on the lower lids. And then we're going to go back in with the Urban Decay and add that in so that we can get that green, so we can have some consistency, wipe off any fallout with a really fluffy brush. You know, you're working with black, so you gotta be really careful. So add that Urban Decay back in. Awesome, awesome. And now we're gonna add just a little bit of light green into the corner of my eyes. I like adding some light color into the corner of my eyes. I feel like it opens the eye a lot better. And it doesn't, you know, it makes the eye look a bit more dramatic because you have a gradient involved, right? So just a little bit more, like kind of like a milk color. Blend that out, and then we're going to go and get a Tarte eye pencil and put that in our waterline. It's just like an emerald green. And we're going to add some sparkly, like kind of like if it's like a top coat for nails, it's like a top coat for eyeshadow. It's kind of cool. And now we're going to add some mascara. I don't really like this mascara because I feel like it clumps up a little too much. But we're going to add a little bit anyway, top and bottom lashes. I don't add falsies just because I like the length of my lashes. That and I also have a little bit of a hooded eye, so if you use the wrong falsies, then it can really make your eye look weird. So I just go with mascara. Now I'm adding just a little bit of blush. Really you should contour before this, which I figured out. So now we're going to actually contour. I'm going to be using my Smashbox contour palette, if I can find it. Sorry. And found it. It was behind my laptop. Anyway, we're going to use the middle shade of my Smashbox palette and chisel out my cheekbones a little bit. I don't really need that much because I have pretty good cheekbones. We're going to go underneath the jaw because I have not a very pronounced jaw. Go on the temples. Then we're going to take a little bit and define the nose a little bit. I have a really wide bridged nose, so just defining that a little bit helps make it a little bit more slender. You have to be careful with, if you have a big nose like me, not to do too much to it, otherwise it might draw more attention than you want. And now we're going to use some highlighter. I don't really like the highlighter in the Smashbox palette. I don't think it's light enough for me. So we're going to go over it with the Sephora eyeshadows, and we're using the tan one, and we're going to go over it, and it just gives a little bit of a sparkly sheen, which I think works really well. And now we're going to put on the blush. It's like a corally peachy blush with some gold shimmer, so I really like it. And now we're going to put an EOS on to help smooth out our lips, prime them a little bit, and I'm going to use a clear lip liner because we're going to put a lipstick on, so it helps to reduce smudging. And I didn't want to use a bold lip here, so I'm just going to use a pinky mauve tone from Kat Von D. I didn't want to use something too bold just because I figured that would I don't know, it wouldn't really work with how bold the eye is. I would be worried that it would try to overpower the eye and then you would kind of look like a clown. If you put on a little too much, you can just take a concealer brush and some concealer and just, you know, fix up that bottom lip like I did. And now we're going to go get some setting spray, the hairspray of the makeup world. You don't have to be as generous as I did, but, you know, I like to make sure that my makeup doesn't move. Fan that off to dry, and you are done! Thank you guys so much for watching my first ever Get Ready With Me video. I'm so excited to start my YouTube channel, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye!